Since 2004, Iowa livestock farmers have turned to the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers for free, confidential, and expert assistance in raising livestock responsibly and successfully. Join us at the Fenceline to hear from industry experts and farmers about topics important to livestock agriculture here in Iowa. The Fenceline, where the gates always open. Welcome to The Fenceline. The Fenceline is a podcast of the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers, the livestock folks here in the state of Iowa. If you have questions about livestock operations, they have the answers. Rules and regulations as well. Even help you prepare for an inspection. You find out more about the Coalition at supportfarmers.com. My name is Bob Quinn, host of the Fenceline, and from time to time our features on the Fenceline are part of the celebration surrounding a Working Good Farm Neighbor Award. Well, today we are celebrating a very special Working Good Farm Neighbor Award, number 186, and this Working Good Farm Neighbor Award is being presented to the Kent Mowrer family. The original presentation was done in June of 2024. Kent passed away in July of 2021 due to the effects of the COVID virus. We started off the program talking with Brian Waddingham. We are celebrating the 186th Working Good Farm Neighbor Award, and we have a very special recipient today, guys. A fellow that was with the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers for many years, had a chance to work with Kent for many years as well. What a great guy. He is receiving, and his family is receiving, the Working Good Farm Neighbor Award today. Kent passed away due to complications with COVID back a couple of years ago. We lost a great guy at that time. Brian Waddingham is sitting in with me. And Brian, first of all, we're celebrating today, number one, but we're also remembering a guy who was a kind of a household name and household face around the state of Iowa.
Yeah, that's right. He was just a tremendous advocate for livestock agriculture here in the state of Iowa. Really did a fantastic job going out, working with livestock farmers one-on-one on their farms, answering questions over the phone. Just truly passionate about all things livestock.
Kent Mowrer is who we're talking about, and Kent was the field guy with the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers. And Kent and I used to have a good time on the radio talking about the fact that he was the hardest working field guy in the entire state of Iowa for any organization. And I'll tell you how that started. A little story here about Kent. And he was good-natured and could take the kidding and things like that. We were at a Good Farm Neighbor Award. I think it was in Beaver. And he was coming in, and it was a hot day that day. I mean, it was hot as it is today. And Kent was the type of fella that could sweat a little bit. And he was pushing about a gallon of water an hour when he got in there. And I was kidding with him, and I said, "What'd you do, run?" He says, "No." He says, "I was doing good till I got hung up in a fence out there." And I don't know if he was kidding or not, but ever since that day, I said, "Here's a guy that'll actually climb through barbed wire fences to help you out, Kent Mowrer." And he spoke softly, but did carry a big opinion on lots of things. So we're so proud to have the opportunity to honor his family today. He has two just gorgeous young daughters, and they're with us today as well. His wife is going to be with us. We're in Boone County here. Hey, before we get too far along, we're celebrating also the 20th anniversary of the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers.
Yeah, that's right. 20 years now we've been helping livestock farmers answer questions about their farms, help them site new barns, interpret rules and regs. So 5,300 plus livestock farmers assisted in the last 20 years, and still taking a lot of calls today.
Number 186, we are celebrating the Mowrer family receiving the Working Good Farm Neighbor Award. That's how the program started off, saluting Kent Mowrer with the Working Good Farm Neighbor Award. Now, Kent's influence can be seen on hundreds of farms all across the state of Iowa. One of the things that he did for the Coalition is he was the field man. In other words, if you called in, had a question, or wanted someone to come out and visit on your farm, Kent was the guy that went out into the field, and he took a lot of care in making suggestions on everything from building a new barn, or maybe adding on livestock, or maybe even a direction of putting some trees into a windbreak around the farmstead. Back to our celebration day, talking now with the Deputy Secretary of Agriculture, Grant Menke. We are here celebrating number 186 Working Good Farm Neighbor Award winner, and we're giving it to a family today, the Mowrer family. And Kent Mowrer was the field man for the coalition, and he passed away due to complications with COVID. And we are giving the award to his family. Very well deserved. He was a great guy, number one, a field guy. But you're going to be presenting the award coming up here.
Yeah, it's really an honor to be here, Bob. Kent Mowrer was really the embodiment of what this award is all about. He was a good farm neighbor himself, but he equipped so many farmers in his time at the coalition to be good farm neighbors. And I was just talking with Brian Waddingham, and several award winners are people who he worked with in his time here. So just a great guy, and it's this 186 award here in Boone County is just a fitting tribute. It's a tribute to this award, to this organization, and certainly to Kent and his wonderful family.
Grant, thanks for being with us today as we honor Kent Mowrer and the Mowrer family with Working Good Farm Neighbor Award winner number 186. Well, as Deputy Secretary of Agriculture Grant Menke mentioned, Kent Mowrer was the embodiment of the Working Good Farm Neighbor Award. Kent Mowrer was also the embodiment of a good family guy. Kent's family members were with us that day as well, and we visited with them. We have a tractor ride that will be circling in and out of the Boone County Fairgrounds, of which we are sitting in the air-conditioned comfort of the community building on the fairgrounds here. Beautiful fairgrounds. We are honoring the Mowrer family today, number 186 in our Working Good Farm Neighbor Award winners. I have with me right now Chris Mowrer, and Chris is wife of Kent. And Chris, welcome back to the big show, and we are having a great time here in Boone County, and you have beautiful fairgrounds here, number one. And I understand that this was a favorite place of the Mowrer family, and maybe still is, for doing a little showing. Is that right?
Yeah, this is the county fairgrounds that Kent grew up showing mostly cattle, a few sheep, but showed during his career in 4-H. And then my girls have shown here, too, since they started their career in 4-H and FFA.
Well, let me tell you a little story about Kent. Kent and I had been doing many of these Working Good Farm Neighbor Award-winning presentations. And Kent was the type of guy, and I mentioned a little bit ago, that could sweat a little bit. And we were at a Good Farm Neighbor Award-winning thing. And I said, "What's the matter? You being grilled by somebody?" He said, "No, it's hot in here." It was about 15 degrees outside. We had a great time with him. He was a wonderful man, and we certainly appreciate the time we had with him. And he passed away due to complications of COVID.
Correct, yep.
And we certainly miss him a lot. And I'll tell you this, and you probably already know it, but he knew everybody in the state of Iowa. And we would be at different events and things, and he could almost tell you, okay, that farm's owned by this guy here, and that farm's owned by this guy here, and that farm's owned by this guy here. And one of the things he did in his job was work with farmers if they were bringing in new livestock operations, maybe wanting to put in a new building, something like that. And he is very soft-spoken. And I'm going to talk to your daughters here, and they may not say the same thing, right? But he was very soft-spoken. But when he said something, you knew you better listen, because he knew what he was talking about. So, again, thanks so much for being with us a little bit to celebrate today.
Yeah, great to be here, and it's truly an honor. I know he would be just, speechless, which would be rare, but he would be very humbled by the award, so we really appreciate it.
Yeah, he's, again, one of the best field guys I was ever around, and we certainly had him for too short a time, so I appreciate that. And you stick around here. We're going to talk to you again. And the Secretary of Agriculture's office is going to give you a nice little plaque to hang up there. Are you still raising show sheep?
We've cut back. We're down to just a few of the old show ewes, a few of the old show does the girls have wanted to keep around more as pets now. But we've increased the number of horses, and we're kind of getting into some cattle.
Can I tell one more quick story about him?
Sure.
Yeah. He was raising sheep, you see. And if you're not familiar with how you exercise sheep to get them ready for a show, sometimes you put them on a treadmill, okay? Or sometimes you have this little wagon deal that you pull behind a little cart.
Yep, a chariot.
And a lot of times, chariot, right. A lot of times the sheep are walking backwards. you see, because you want to exercise the front legs a little bit. And apparently, because you live on a highway.
Right, yep.
And apparently some folks had been driving by and didn't understand what was going on. So they turned him in. They turned him into the animal welfare operation. I got the biggest kick out of that. He didn't think it was funny at the time. But I got the biggest kick out of that. He says, "You're the guy that takes care of livestock around the state of Iowa. What are you doing with those sheep?" And he explained it to me then, and it was no big deal. But so you're not in the sheep showing business, though?
No, not anymore. But horse shows.
Oh, so kids will be at the fair?
Yep. You'll be at the Boone County Fair, State Fair too.
Well, again, we certainly had a good time with him. You stick around here; we're going to talk to you again. That's Chris Mowrer. Pat McGonigal is sitting in with me as well. And Pat, one of the things we're talking about as we honor the Mowrer family today is the fact that the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers has turned 20 years old. And you remember back when the coalition was formed. Talk about the maybe the first few days. Why did you guys form the coalition?
Well, Bob, first of all, I wasn't directly involved, but I really appreciate the foresight of the people that were the Rich Degners and those that were involved in corn and soybean, Kirk Leeds, Craig Floss, all those that were agriculture leaders in our state. The Department of Agriculture really kind of set a platform that has put the coalition forward for the past 20 years, and I think that's a huge effort. And what they did is outstanding. And really, ultimately, at the end of the day, and Kent's a great example of that, is to help pork producers and, for that matter, livestock and poultry farmers get better.
When I talk about Kent, I talk about a guy who was a field man. You started out as a field guy with the Iowa pork producers.
Yeah.
You were kind of doing some of the same things out there.
Yeah. I mean, Kent brought a lot of skills to that because he would deal with producers, right? And there's a wide variety of types of producers, and he could deal with that but still kept the producer in mind, forefront, but then also understood we have to meet regulations, right? Particularly in livestock and poultry production. And he was the guy between the regulator and the farmer, and just had a huge knack to be able to do that in a professional and proper way.
Very well-deserved award. Again, it's the Wergen Good Farm Neighbor Award, named after Gary Wergen, who was a farm broadcaster on WHR Radio during the Big Show, and Kent Mowrer and Kent's family receiving the award today. Pat McGonigal with us with the Iowa pork producers. We're going to talk more. Good Farm Neighbor Award winner number 186 today on the Big Show. Many people came by that day to celebrate the 186th presentation to the Mowrer family, and Kent Mowrer, field man with the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers. In fact, the first field man came by, and the current field man for the organization visited with us as well. But we are talking about a family that we're giving the award to today, the Mowrer family. And Kent Mowrer was a field guy for the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers, and he passed away. Complications due to COVID here a few years back. But what a guy, and what a wonderful job he did representing, and what a very worthy recipient his family is of the Wergen Good Farm Neighbor Award. Lots of folks are here celebrating today, and I want to introduce a guy right now. Rex Hoppus is with me. Rex, how are you doing?
Hey, doing great.
I saw you come in the door, and were you the first field guy here for the coalition?
Yeah. Aaron Putsy and myself and Tim Neese originally got things rolling, but it's only because of the foresight of the organizations, beef, pork, corn, poultry, just so many organizations, Farm Bureau, who we were actually employees of, that put us up as part of the collateral to get this organization started that has helped so many producers. And I am so proud of what Kent was able to accomplish in honoring his family today, but most importantly, what the current team does with the coalition.
They do a wonderful job. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hello. And speaking of field guys, we're going to talk to the current star field guy with the coalition. His name is Cody Havens, and Cody is sitting in with us right now. Cody, we're honoring Kent Mowrer today, field guy. You guys are the ones that are out there on the front line, though. We talk a lot about boots in the ground, eyeballs out in the field, but if someone calls and wants to know more about livestock operations, you're the one they send out.
Yeah, absolutely. Go out and meet with farmers at free, completely confidential. Meet meet with them on their farm to help with timing, and really talk about what they want for their goals and the direction they want to go and how they want to grow their operation, and talk to them about how to navigate the rules and regulations and decide which direction's the best suited for them.
So who should be calling you guys? Is it someone who's just getting started, or someone who's established now, or someone who wants to bring maybe a young person back into the operation?
Yeah, all of the above. Anybody that's wanting to feed animals in the state of Iowa and livestock, we're kind of the one-stop shop. We focus on rules and regulations and growing your operation. And, if there's questions that you have that we don't know, we know the person that does. So I'm kind of the one-stop shop for livestock feeding operations in the state of Iowa. So give us a call, and if we don't know the answer, we'll find it for you.
Maybe I should have asked this question a little bit differently, but at what point should they call you? I mean, do they have to have a plan in place, or can it just be like, I'd like to do something?
Yeah, anywhere throughout the process. Ideally, we'd like to be in and at the front end, so that way we help with the planning rather than calling us and breaking ground in a week or two. We'd like to know a little bit more in advance of that so we can help you and make sure that your sighting's good with the rules and regulations. But I have guys that call me that are just throwing the idea around in their head and thinking about expanding. It may not be in the next year or two, but maybe just thinking that their child's getting older and going to college and figuring out a way to bring them back. And this is some opportunity that might be there. So even if you're a couple of years out, don't hesitate to give us a call, and we can come out and sit down with you and kind of show you what it looked like and kind of the steps to go through to go through that process.
How can we find out about you guys?
Supportfarmers.com is a great place to learn more about information about us and our programs that we have, or give us a call at 1-800-932-2436.
Cody Havens with us, field man with the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers. You're listening to The Fenceline. The Fenceline is the podcast publication of the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers. My name is Bob Quinn. I host the big show and had the opportunity to host a very special celebration of the Oregon Good Farm Neighbor Award honoring Kent Mowrer. We wrapped up the day with some final words with Kent's family and also hearing from the Deputy Secretary of Agriculture. I'm going to talk to a couple young ladies right now. First off, there's a young lady. I want to talk to the younger Mowrer ladies here, Chris. I'll be talking to you in just a second here. What's your name?
My name is Maddie Mowrer.
Maddie, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16 years old. Where do you go to school?
I go to Ames High.
Ames High School. And are you in the showing business as well? You're going to be doing showing here coming up at the fair?
I was. This year I will not be showing. I will actually be showing horses.
You're showing horses?
Yep.
How about that? Well, thank you for being with us today.
Yes.
Yeah, we certainly enjoy having these young folks. Are you going to stay involved in agriculture by any chance, or what do you got in mind? I know at 16 years old it's kind of tough to decide these things. Probably just got your driver's license not too long ago.
I actually don't have my driver's license yet.
Don't have your driver's license yet?
I'm getting it in October.
Well, good for you. How about that? So you like being around agriculture, like being around the farm?
Yes.
Well, we certainly like to have these young people involved. This other young lady right next to you is?
Hi, I'm Josie Mowrer.
Hi, Josie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Bob?
Now, you're off to Iowa State next year, is that right?
Yep. I just graduated from Ames High School in May, and then I'm off to Iowa State as a freshman.
Now, a bird told me a little bit ago that they're very excited about having you at Iowa State because you was thinking about going out of state maybe to school as well.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Oklahoma State University for a little bit, but I decided that, it's nicer in Iowa, and that way I get to pay in-state tuition, so it's a little cheaper.
How about that? Mom's lighting up now. That's a pretty good deal. You've taught them well about the important things going on. And where are you going to study again?
I'm going for music education. I was thinking about something in agriculture for a while, but that kind of changed about halfway through high school. So
music education.
Yep.
I'll bet you didn't know that Grant Menke was an opera singer, did you?
He was telling me about his son being in the All-State Choir a little bit ago.
Yeah, I know, and he got his talent from his dad. His dad
really?
is quite a singer. He may not know that right now or admit it, but we'll talk to Grant here in just a little bit. I want to talk to Chris back there. Chris, you have a couple lovely young ladies for daughters here. Thank you for bringing them over and sharing the day with us today.
Yeah, well, thank you for having us.
You bet. We certainly miss Kent, and we certainly had a good time with him. Kent, for those folks just tuning in, was the field guy with the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers for a number of years, and he was the guy that, when we talk about going out there, boots in the ground, eyeballs out in the field, that was him. And he knew a lot about agriculture and a lot about animal agriculture. It helped a lot of folks get involved and stay involved in animal agriculture, so we certainly appreciate his efforts.
Yep, he enjoyed what he did. There were some days where it was pretty challenging, but he always woke up in the morning ready to go again. So
now, Alex Frazier from Frazier Nursery presented a tree for you today. Mm-hmm. Have you decided where you're going to plant that yet?
We've talked about it. I think we have a couple places narrowed down at our place. But not 100% sure yet.
Since you're in the center of derecho in the state of Iowa here, you probably got a lot of open space to put it.
We do.
Yeah. Well, you have a good time with that. Again, thank you so much for sharing Kent and sharing your family with us today.
Thank you.
You bet. I want to talk to Grant Menke with us, out having a little fun with Grant as well. Grant, thank you so much for being here today and presenting number 186. But livestock has a big impact in Iowa agriculture. You deal with row crop agriculture, I understand, but livestock's a big deal here in the state.
Yes, we are a leader in livestock. We are a leader in pork production. We are the leader in egg production. We are right at the top in beef production. We're almost in the top 10 in dairy production. Number 7 in turkeys. We hit every species of animal agriculture very heavily in this state, and we say Iowa's the epicenter of agriculture, and our livestock industry is certainly a huge important part of that.
You know, another thing that we do so well in the livestock sector is we provide DDGs, which comes out of these ethanol plants. You have a background in renewable fuels.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're the number one producer of corn too, and when that corn gets processed in an ethanol plant, yes, we get about 3 gallons of ethanol, but we're also getting 16 pounds of nutrient-dense, high-protein animal feed that can be utilized by beef, by pork, and other species throughout the state. So, yes, we have got an all-encompassing agriculture here in the state of Iowa, and we need to do all that we can to keep it that way.
And one guy that dedicated his career to keeping Iowa number 1 in many aspects of animal agriculture, Kent Mowrer. And I have been very proud to know Kent and to work alongside him in the many things he did with the coalition. Kent Mowrer and the Mowrer family, Oregon Good Farm Neighbor Award winners number 186. You're listening to a presentation of the Coalition to Support Iowa's Farmers. My name is Bob Quinn, and I'll see you next time along the fence line.